Turkish, that was a lot better than last week, wasn't it?
Yeah, to say the least, it's a lot better.
Oh, right, fine. Well, there we go. Thanks for the insight.
You're here to ask me questions.
Well,
A lot better.
build on it. Yeah, because of the. Oh, I'll ask you, Jesus. He got the start. He deserved it after the other night. That's 5 goals in a week now.
Yeah, you know this with me. And Jesus, the thing about the striker position, none of them have really, taken it as theirs, in my honest opinion. I think Havertz did at the back end of last season, but this season, chopping and changing here and there, and it just hasn't worked. Jesus, last 2 games, 5 quality finishes, very different, very unique, but very good. And it's been a long time since we've seen someone in front of goal like that. Just someone, not even just our striker, just in general.
Yeah.
So deserved his start. And again, done enough to deserve another start moving forward. That's exactly what we need from that position. I think the first finish, quality.
Yeah.
If you see how he lined himself up for it when the cross was coming in, he was a bit ahead, took 2 steps back. He worked it all out and then just buried it, hit it low and hard and into the back of the net. And the early goal mattered, in my opinion. I know Palace got back into it.
Yeah.
But then as soon as they got back into it, an even better finish.
Well, because it was a weird first 20 minutes. I mean, we were 2-1 up. Could easily have been 2-2. We'd also hit the crossbar. It was just like, we're 2-1 up, but the game felt a bit frantic. Why was that? Do you think, was that Arteta releasing the handbrake a little bit? When you look at the 11, he ended up with kind of Havertz and Jesus kind of up front together. You had Lewis Skelly really moving into midfield. Saka and Martinelli, certainly Saka looked quite bright. Shame about the injury, I'll ask you about that in a sec. But why was it a bit frantic? Because Palace were that good? Because maybe Arteta wanted to kind of let the players express themselves a little bit after what happened Wednesday night? I mean, what do you think?
I think the early goal set the tone for the game. I don't think it was by design, because it's never been by design to be frantic like that in under Arteta, especially the last few years. In fact, the design has got a lot more stringent to make sure that doesn't happen.
Yeah,
I think it's a mix. The early goal definitely mattered, and then you got players out there wanting to prove themselves. I think Lewis Skelly performed yet again.
Yeah, he did.
I haven't seen a minute from him on the pitch, and I know he hasn't had the most minutes in the world, but as a 17, 18-year-old, I haven't seen a minute from him where I've been disappointed, or I thought he's done the wrong thing or made the incorrect decision.
And can I cut you? You shouted him out in pre-season. When everyone's talking about Wanera, I remember you saying, look, Lewis Skelly's looking really good, especially I remember sitting next to you for the Liverpool pre-season game. Came on in that second half. There were signs from early that he was really ready to contribute this season.
There's a maturity on the ball. He doesn't shy away. He actually wants to get involved. He wants that physical battle. He gets into tight spaces. For a guy that was 17 then, 18 now, still so young, so raw, I'm very impressed. I think it's his position to lose. I agree. I was kind of disappointed he came off, because I know a lot of people are looking at it as Calafiori needed the minutes having come back from injury, but I also think Lewis Skelly could do with a 90 out there. Imagine what that does for his confidence. And I also believe Calafiori will probably start the next game. I think he was coming on not just for minutes, but to get him back into the starting lineup. Sure. And I guess as an 18-year-old, I get it. You've signed a 40 million defender, and he's your choice, and it makes sense. But Lewis Skelly deserves a shout out. And for me, man of the match, probably David Raya. And
really?
Because two key saves. But David Raya or Jesus? David Raya or Jesus, because he was.
And Raya was brilliant today.
Yeah, because the save at 2-1. It goes 2-2, it can be a very different game. And then the save at the start of the second half, where it's 3-1, but they score early in that second half, the first couple of minutes, it could be a very different game. We've seen games swing off moments like that in times like that.
Yeah. I know we're at risk of, we win a game and we think everything's clicked. We lose a game or draw a game and, it's all over. It's not going to happen. It was a win that if you're looking purely at points on the board, we know Liverpool have 2 games in hand. We know it's, made that look a little bit better. But like we said, Liverpool going to do their job. They're going to go to Tottenham. They've got West Ham away. You never know. And you hope for something, right? But is this just kind of the life of a football fan a little bit, that you feel what you feel after certain games, but ultimately you come back at minute 0, new game, and you're just desperate for Arsenal to do whatever they can to try and dig themselves back into whatever we thought a week ago. You just want them to win and then see. Yeah. And it's just about now taking it game by game, and Arsenal hopefully can build a bit of momentum on it. But I just wanted to ask you about that, because it does feel like it can be so up and down, especially this season. And maybe that's something Arsenal need to wrestle back control of.
Yeah, listen, a win is a win, and that's what we want. Performance, win, goals, exciting football, and we got that. But we're in a position now where, I'll speak for myself. I always only speak for myself. I'm in a position where our wins now have to be accompanied by a Liverpool draw or loss for me to feel like I've left the weekend a winner. if that
yeah,
makes
yeah, I
sense.
get what you mean.
If Liverpool go tomorrow and beat Tottenham
Yeah.
away from home, we ain't going to feel like winners come Monday.
Yeah.
Because
I know
that's
what you mean.
another away game or another tough game for them. They've got out the way and they've kept us at the same distance we've been at.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, and I am happy, and that's exactly what I wanted to see. Jesus get more goals. Havertz even got a goal in there as well, and then the team clicking. Rice comes on, his best 45 maybe of the season so far are up there. So that's all good, but eyes straight away on. Like, I'm not dwelling on this. It's straight away onto tomorrow, and listen, hoping that Tottenham do something against Liverpool.
Yeah. Yeah, totally agree. Who else should we talk about? The Saka injury, I think we've got to mention, because sometimes you watch enough football and you just know a certain reaction to a certain movement. And when a player is trying to dart past a fullback, whip a ball into the box, there's a lot of strain on those muscles, especially the hamstring. And the minute he did it, he just pulled up, went down. I mean, we don't know anything, and if Arteta says anything, of course, we'll mention it on AFTV, but it doesn't look that good from his perspective. Is that kind of not only the only downer of the night, maybe, but maybe a potentially really big one that we shouldn't completely overlook? Because there's a lot of football to play across January, and we're going to really need him, even if he only misses 3-4 weeks, which is kind of looking like it might be the best case scenario. That's a lot of football without someone we don't really have a replacement for. Marseille did okay, but it could be a big blow.
Yeah, again, I lean on the position we're in. We can't afford to drop any more points, especially before Liverpool drop their next points. And Ipswich should get past, but then we've got Brentford and Brighton at the start of the new year, and that's when it becomes a bit more difficult without your star man. Now, if Jesus continues this vein of form, then we might not miss Saka as much as we probably would have expected, because Jesus, in the last couple of games, if he can be the threat that he's shown, then that will go a long way in helping us in the next 3, 4, 5. We don't know whether it's 3 weeks, 6 weeks, 8 weeks right now. It's unusual for a player to pull up like that hamstring wise, in the manner that he did. It wasn't in full flow running, top speed. It was so I am worried about it, but this club have known for a couple of years now that we've needed to get adequate replacements for Saka and Odegaard. So it's unfortunate. It's a big blow for us, but no excuses on my end. I'm not looking for sympathy or excuses. I think Saka has been a machine over the years, and maybe the lack of having an option to rotate with him has also led to this. There could be a number of reasons why, because he's played a hell of a lot of games across club and country level.
I do agree with that, and I know your thoughts on the ownership. I know that we've seen how Arsenal have moved, especially in January, but there's even more pressure now. I mean, Sterling can barely get any football. Saka injury, Havertz and Jesus aren't doing it. Okay, this week they are. I don't know. Does it even raise your hope by 1 or 2% that we might do something in January?
I'm not thinking about not doing anything in January, but people might remind me of the club I support. I get that. But we've got a demand. We've got to set that, because we've seen before that if we let them get away with things, they will will continue trying to get away with things.
Yeah.
I think the summer, remember my stance in the summer. Let's see what they do. I'm not gonna give my opinions. Don't ask me who we want. I'm comfy. Let's just see what they do. We've challenged for a title. They didn't do enough. And I'm not in a position now where I'm going to give them another window, a window after that, and give them 2. Nah, we've done that under Wenger, and look what happened to our greatest ever manager.
Yeah.
Towards the end. So let's not do that for Mikel, whether you're for him or with some against him. It's the ownership that have owned this club for 20 plus years now in some way, shape or form, and we've got 0 league titles off the back of it. So January is important without this Saka injury. The Saka injury on top. I've said it before, I'll say it again. By 7th of January, I want some activity. I'm not looking at January and giving you 30, whatever days it is. I'm giving you 7 days, 14 days. Because I don't know, when the deadline day is, but I'm
a lot of the big games will be played by then, and Saka might be back. So
I think we play Man City 2nd of February, so deadline day might be 1st.
Yeah,
That's Saturday, maybe
Friday could be the Friday.
Yeah, it could be the Friday. So don't wait till then.
Yeah.
We've got issues now. Bring people in, bring who you need to bring in. And then when Saka comes back in, hopefully we've got another asset there alongside him.
Mate, thank you very much.